morning, and welcome on this beautiful Saturday with me, Mariki Bothma. Ntomza Mazulu Zitli, Ntomza KZN, right here on Weekend Express. Wow, what a beautiful summer day. It feels warm outside. Winter, thank you, Sikatele, Sizwile. We have a very exciting 2-hour show prepared for you. But joining me today is the most beautiful, gorgeous Masechaba Kobela. Like Lobola Kobola.
Yes, with the K.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know, I'm white, so minangazi Lobola Pela. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for co-hosting with us today.
It's my honor to be here.
I actually look forward to quite an exciting 2-hour show. We have guests. We have a
DJ.
We have a DJ in the house. Mamel, it's Saturday. Siyabangena. We are Pagati inside.
Yes.
Well, I hope you are ready for a fantastic 2-hour show with us this morning. So, Masechaba, will you take us to the headlines of the day?
Definitely. My name is Masechaba, and these are your headlines. Minister of Public Service and Administration Senzo Mchunu launches Public Service Month. The Pan-South African Board launches the Sign Language Charter. Melania Trump talks about National Preparedness Month. Moving on to our stories. Minister of Public Service and Administration Senzo Mchunu has called on public servants to act ethically and to desist from criminal and corrupt activities. Mchunu said that COVID-19 has claimed more than 1,000 lives within the public service. He spoke on this on Friday during the launch of the Integrated Public Service Month, September, which the minister said is a month where the public is sensitized of the services delivered by government and when the services are reviewed in order to ensure that quality services are delivered to the citizens. The minister also said that the government deems it important that the citizens of the country have access to the necessary quality services. He also said that they want to highlight the collaborative efforts by all public servants, inclusive of the elected personnel, in the form of members of parliament, councils, the judiciary and the executive within all spheres of government. He said public servants, but people first, followed by the service and then themselves who have to render the service.
It is currently providing a number of programs to public servants, and these programs are tailor-made to upskill and equip public servants. On the 27th of August 2020, Cabinet further approved 2 new programs. The first of these is Economic Governance Spring School for members of the executive, which is specifically targeted at ministers, deputy ministers, premiers, mayors, MSCs and MMCs. The second program falls under the framework for continuing leadership engagements for heads of departments in their capacity as accounting officers. It will be offered to accounting officers across all 3 spheres of government, as well as chief executive officers in SOEs.
The minister then called on all public servants to conduct themselves ethically in line with their professions and in line with Section 195 of the country's constitution. The minister said in order for the public service to be professional, the National School of Government is responsible for strengthening state capacity through education, training and development, is currently providing a number of programs to public servants which are tailor-made to upskill and equip public servants,
including frontline services. It is absolutely crucial that all of us recommit to the principles of Batupile. People first is an important part of the contract into which we entered with the people, and we should never let the people down. This year's theme, as has been observed, Growing South Africa Together for an Ethical Public Service, seeks to reinforce the philosophical outlook of Batupile, which must be the beacon that guides every civil servant. We feel obliged to reiterate that Section 195 of the Constitution of the Republic enjoins government to construct, promote, and maintain a civil service
Minister Senzo Mchunu also explained the two new training programs on 27 August 2020, which were approved by the Cabinet, explaining that the first program, Economic Governance Spring School for members of the executive, is specifically targeted at ministers, deputy ministers, premiers, mayors, MECs and MMCs. The second program falls under the framework for continuing leadership engagement for heads of department in their capacity as accounting officers, and is a program which will be offered to accounting officers across all three spheres of government, as well as chief executive officers and SOEs.
Which serve all South Africans equally and guided by a high standard of professional ethics. Even if the Constitution didn't make this provision, we would nevertheless be obliged to insist on it because ethics are important as a tool of trade we require and use in the service of our people. We must therefore take this opportunity to call on all public servants to desist from criminal and corrupt activities that rob the people of vital, needed, and limited resources. We must fight and isolate the corrupt amongst us and treat them like the enemies of the people that they are. The public service must be a proud center of good governance. Every citizen, every civil servant has a vital role to play in realizing this objective.
The Pan South African Sign Language Board launched the South African Sign Language Charter on Friday. The charter, which was conceptualized to address issues that relate to communication, access to information, facilities and social justice for the deaf community, including the type of service provided by South African Sign Language interpreters in general. The SASL Charter articulates and affirms the linguistic rights of deaf persons in South Africa and is aimed at creating conditions for the development of sign language in South Africa. The Charter compels all government departments and other organs of state as well as private sector to make provisions for SASL interpreting and guarantees access to services by deaf persons through ensuring essential service staff such as social workers and police officers receive advanced level training in South African language sign language.
Today is a very historic day to the linguistic and also to the people who live with, who are differently abled. This is a day that South Africa is seeing a shift from the talking towards the walking of linguistic transformation.
He also said that South African Sign Languages is a language with its own distinct grammatical structures and lexicon, and the launch of the Charter is a giant stride towards ensuring the officialization of South African Sign Language as the 12th South African official language. September is Deaf Awareness Month, and the SASL Charter launch will kickstart various activities that will be undertaken by Pan South African Language Board in various parts of the country to raise awareness about South African Sign Language and the Charter.
It's a 5-year journey. Today it marks the full circle. The journey that has started with the resolution taken on the meeting of the 4th September 2015 of the South African Sign Language National Language Body. And we say very heartfelt that we appreciate the decision that was taken in that meeting. We appreciate how that NLB has went beyond the talking and they walked that journey. We also thank the subsequent NLB that continue moving with that heavy task until this particular day. Unfortunately, due to lockdown restrictions, we have delayed our launch of the visual or the video part of the declaration, which will be on the 23rd September 2020. Today, we are only launching the written one. But as I said, and I will continue to say, there is nothing for or about the deaf community without the deaf community. Therefore, if the preferred mode is the video, we need to prioritize that.
Moving on to our next story, the community work programs continues to make contributions to its efforts and eradicate poverty and promote community development. The team said that they are doing this to change their people's lives in a positive way. They also said that the government had given them this chance so that they can show the community that there are people who care about the communities. One of the members said that they are changing and positively impacting lives of both children and adults. Let's now take a look at some of the impact they are making.
Under the Community Work Program, tens of thousands of work opportunities have been provided in each province to date.
Government CWP.
We're doing agriculture, we're mentoring kids, we're doing a lot of things that can change anyone's life. It's not just about me, but everyone else.
As dit nie deur hulle gewees het nie, het ons nie vandag geweet wat om te maak nie. As 'n baie mooi tuin wat ek vir my gemaak het in die Harten.
Mina ngasho nje ngithi nasekhaya la ngihlala khona ngangingabafundeli abantwana bami idori. Manje sengiyakhona ukuthi before silala ngibafundele idori.
The Community Work Program, restoring dignity through.
Actually, speaking about the community development, I think it's a very amazing thing that people care about where they come from. They don't forget where they come from, and they try by all means to uplift other people, you know.
It's so true, but again, let us look at this in this way. There are so many community projects and so many people that are involved with community projects and changing lives. Some in a very private sector, some obviously through government sectors, subsidies. But again, we should acknowledge that there are people who actually do a lot of charity and this kind of work out of their own pocket.
True.
You know, we have bikers that are doing a lot of charity. Do you do
Yes,
charity?
I run a foundation called the Masa Chaba Foundation, and currently I have no funding, so it's just me and my partner doing it from our own pockets. And it's amazing. It's not something that I'm complaining about or whatever. I mean,
but again, I have a foundation
as well,
Impumelelo Youth Project,
yes.
And again, we've applied for funding. We never get funding, so we just push on our own.
True.
I think that calls for a bit of an ad break.
Let's go to a break. We'll be back.
Feel the heat.
I love Adam Selman.
The girls are really thin. I think it looks very glamorous from the outside.
The life of a model in New York City.
There is such cool prints. So many.
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful!
This is exactly what I was looking for!
DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action.
I like it when it's nice and soft.
Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
the coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud.
Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
And welcome back after that short break. Let's go to a few more headlines. The Minister of Social Development, Minister Lindiwe Zulu, visited the Thabo Mafutsanyana Secure Care Center, a social development facility that caters for youth in conflict with the law. Conducting a walk, the minister was assessing the center's services. The minister said that the elderly people are the ones that need them the most, as they are the most vulnerable and need to protect them. She added that a place like Tekolohelong Welfare Center is let's first, before I carry on with the story, how do you feel about government having institutions for the youth that has problems with the law, and instead of care centers for the elderly? What is your opinion on that?
I feel like the elderly are more vulnerable and they should be taken care of, more care of, compared to other people.
But do you think that we should actually, these centers for youth that is involved with breaking the law, don't you think they also deserve a second chance? Let's
with whose money? Isn't it our money, our parents' tax money? I'm not being snubs or trying to, but I feel like I know everyone deserves a second chance, but some people just do it knowing that our law is not that strict. They'll give me a chance. They'll take me to rehab. They'll take me to prison, which is quite very uncomfortable.
But again, it's our tax money that is putting the people in prison.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So, would you rather than give those people a chance, the elderly, obviously we believe the elderly need to be given a chance, but again, I do personally, I believe that the youth also needs a chance, because we don't know the circumstances that these kids come from. You know, we don't know what actually caused them to end up doing what they do.
Hence there are segments and groups that that groom boys. Yes. And I feel like, in fact, there isn't much, and I feel like more men should now create more motivational groups where they talk to boys, allow them to have emotion. All of these things, it just doesn't make sense, you know. It's not right. I think that's what causes men to do
but
as
again,
they
I
please
think I think it's also fatherlessness. Because young boys have to be men before their
the
time.
right age,
They don't get time to be boys.
Kids.
They have to be the caretakers of the home. They have to be the caretakers of everything. And I feel that is what society has robbed the young men of. That's why they end up doing what they do. The minister said that the elderly people are the ones that need them the most, as they are most vulnerable and need to be protected. She added that a place like Tekoloheng Welfare Center is important as the elderly are cared for. As they held a candlelight ceremony, Zulu said that they were lighting candles not only for those who had been affected, but also those who have recovered. She said, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, we are fighting another pandemic, gender-based violence. The Tokoholeng Welfare Center team also demonstrated the equipment they use to assist persons with disabilities to move around to the minister. The Social Development Minister said local manufacturers need to look into producing such equipment so that the department can procure locally and invest in the country's economy. as the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, in partnership with the South African National Road Agency and Madibeng local municipality, he said the completion of this project is an important milestone in unlocking the tourism potential of the Northwest Province. He said that the road provides a more direct connection between Northwest tourism hubs and Sun City, Pilanesberg, Hartbeespoort and Sandton in Gauteng. He added that this road will provide growth potential for Hartbeespoort as a strategic development node for the Northwest, known for attracting the province more influential citizens and providing them with an alternative migrating to Gauteng suburbs.
Northern side of Pretoria. Through this particular project, we are now ensuring free flow of traffic and easy passage of goods and people into the Platinum SDI from the west side of Pretoria and Johannesburg. Crucially, the completion of this project demonstrates our ongoing commitment in investing in road infrastructure to decisively tackle the triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. These investments are equally intended to ensure that investment in our road infrastructure gives impetus to the growing economy. So when you say South Africa and apartheid, there is no difference. Hold on. Please. This is not apartheid or opening.
Going to international news now. The First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, was speaking regarding the national preparedness. She said that she encourages families to make sure that they have everything they need to stay safe during this time of COVID-19. She also said that she encourages families and communities in the United States to take time and discuss plans that they would take in the event of a disaster. She added that as they are in the National Preparedness Month, this year's theme is Disasters Don't Wait, Make Your Plans Today.
This September, we observe National Preparedness Month. As our nation continues to respond to COVID-19, there is no better time to get involved and ensure your family has what they need to stay safe. I encourage families and communities across our nation to update their plan or take time to discuss the steps they would take in the event of a disaster. The theme of this year's National Preparedness Month is Disasters Don't Wait, Make Your Plans Today. This message holds true as we begin observations during the peak of the hurricane season. I encourage everyone to visit ready.gov to find tools and guidance that can help you make plans for any kind of emergency you might encounter. The actions we take today could save lives tomorrow. Take time to plan and have the important conversations. It is these small actions that will make our families and communities more prepared for disasters. God bless you all. And God bless our great nation.
She also said that parents should take time this month to teach your children more about how to be prepared for disasters and emergencies. President Donald
America's
Trump held signing
economic recovery continues. You see what's going on. It's been pretty amazing. The United States economy added today, announced this morning, 1.4 million jobs last month, bringing the total to over 10.6 million jobs created in just 4 months. That's a record by far. In August, we added 249,000 retail jobs, 174,000 leisure and hospitality jobs, and 29,000 new manufacturing jobs. The unemployment rate plummeted to 8.4%, the second largest single month drop ever recorded, surpassed only by our big decline in June, Last month, we saw large declines in the unemployment rate for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and Asian Americans, very big declines. We're witnessing the fastest labor market recovery from any economic crisis in history, by far.
She also said that parents should take care this month and teach their children more about how to be prepared for disaster and emergencies.
Truly historic day, a very, very important day, especially in a beautiful part of the world. I'm pleased to announce a truly historic commitment. Serbia and Kosovo have each committed to economic normalization. Very important term. They've been working on this for many, many years, decades actually. After a violent and tragic history and years of failed negotiations, my administration proposed a new way of bridging the divide. By focusing on job creation and economic growth, the two countries were able to reach a major breakthrough, something that nobody thought was going to be possible, and I think it's going to work out very well, and we're going to be working with them on economic cooperation.
Well, that is all we have for the
Truly
headlines of
historic
this
day,
morning. But we actually still have another hour and a half show of very exciting
Guests.
exciting
I'm just
guests.
excited for the last guest.
But obviously now, after the hard-hitting headlines, international and local, you know, headlines are always so depressing.
We all
I
deserve
think it's
good
time we
news.
go to Miss Rorisang
with good news.
Good news.
Yes.
Do not go anywhere after the break. Do catch Rorisang with some good news right here on Galaxy Universal Network, Starsat Channel 500. And if you are watching us on Facebook, do like, do share, do comment. We'll be right back after Rorisang with more entertainment. Zasha!
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful! This is exactly what I was looking for! DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action. I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you know, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Mira.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with Starsat.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with Starsat.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Challenge your ordinary. Experience the extraordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Now, I believe that my peace is my most valuable asset.
Absolutely beautiful! This is exactly what I was looking for! DJ Khaled!
It is a day to celebrate.
We're ready for action. I like it when it's nice and soft. Yeah, that is nice.
How was it like growing up in Nigeria? Yes, sir, you know what it is.
Feeling is there that, you're doing something special.
Stop being so dramatic, Meera.
You should just be what you want to be.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
The coronavirus outbreak.
Experience the extraordinary.
Tremendous waste and tremendous fraud. Mexico is, in fact, you will soon find out.
It is a day to celebrate.
We don't approve at all what's going on.
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily unusual.
Challenge your ordinary.
Not only the government, the municipality here has had no plan.
Experience the extraordinary with StarSat.
Tech Talk brought to you by Tamani Technologies and Systems. Tamani Technologies and Systems takes leadership in fourth industrial revolution. The whole world is facing a transformation. The revolution will be developed into the following stages: digitization, cyber security, Internet of Things, managed services, document management, and business applications. We provide business transformation and ICT solutions with presence in 13 African countries and 2 European countries. We are your leading partner in integrated platform providers, innovation leaders, standalone products, and innovation pace setters. Tamani Technologies and Systems, delivering value across continents.
Dumelang Sanbanani, and welcome on this beautiful Saturday. And this is good news, where we give you your daily doses of positivity. Like Abu Mariki said, they gave you the hot stories, and now we're just gonna give you a little bit on a lighter note, where we just share some positive stories. And I really hope that I am gonna sprinkle some positivity with you right now. Now, moving into today's headlines now, 2 South African best friends launch instant coffee. And Whitney Houston tribute singer Belinda Davids makes it to Britain's Got Talent semi-finalists. And of course, then also for a tourism month, we know Sun City reopens with a bang. And I am not alone today in studio. I am joined by the beautiful Itumeleng Banda, who is a sports anchor at Massive Metro. Hello, Itumi.
Hey, Rory.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You look gorgeous, I must say. Like, just to add on that.
Can I just say that real recognizes real?
I see. So let's just move on in the first stories. We're just going to get into conversation a bit later on. Right? So I'll just go through the stories. Now, with the first story, 2 young South Africans have launched a new range of instant coffee and hope to see it in grocery stores across the country soon. Now, childhood best friends Karabo Makakaba and Katlego Matibela are 2 young South Africans who have launched a new range of the freeze-dried instant coffee named Karabego, which is a combination of their names. Now, one of the brains behind the brand Karabo said that they noticed that filter ground coffee is high maintenance and requires machines, and their market is the black community, and not everyone has a coffee machine. Now, Katlego then approached various companies in the coffee market and finally found one in Centurion that helped them source the green coffee beans from Ethiopia and Brazil, and that they needed to start their business. Now, the pair made their first deliveries in June, and they have since seen their brand go from strength to strength. a very inspirational story right there. You know, it's just seeing young black people now coming up and actually coming to the fore and actually making this life thing, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's very exciting, especially when young people do it. Normally people say don't mix friendship with business.
Yes.
But us breaking that stereotype, I think is phenomenal.
It's amazing, really, really amazing indeed. And then also just talking about South Africans making waves. Now we've got a Port Elizabeth born Davids has been touring with the world as Whitney Houston tribute singer. Now the 43-year-old Belinda Davids from PE made it to the semi-finalist for the popular show Britain's Got Talent. Now, according to the British weekly magazine Radio Times, the judges had 200 acts to adjudicate, with just 40 places in the live semi-finalist. And the singer then shared her excitement on the big news when she tweeted on Monday with the caption, "Feeling on top of the world tonight. So grateful for where I am and excited for where I am going. Bring on a BGT semi-finalist." Now, here's a little clip there where we can actually see where it all started today with Belinda. Let's just have a look.
Each day I live, I want to be ready to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every gain, to taste the sweet. I face the pain, I rise and fall. Yet through it all, this much remains. I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams.
I really hope some of us had the voices to sing like that, but it's fine. We'll actually leave it to the professionals. Now, talking about singing and finding one's voice, let's just get into your story. Tell us how you found your voice and how now you became this person, a sports anchor you are on Massive Metro today.
You know, funny story. So when I was in school, primary school this was, no, high school it was, I participated in public speaking and I really just got good at that. And I used to MC the events that we used to have in high school. And then from there, I decided that, you know what, being in the media industry is something that I really want to do, but I didn't know where to start, I didn't know where to go. So I had a friend who said that, dude, I think you really have a really cool voice. So what we used to do was we used to take his phone and we'd record little video clips, well, voice recordings, and we'd have a fake radio show on the phone. And it became really fun, and I was like, you know what, I think I really want to get into radio, because then I started listening to radio. And yeah, I went to Alex FM, had to go through auditions, started off as a newsreader, and then after that I was part of Bigger Than Life, which is a young group of activists that they have within the community of Alexandria. And what they do is they stand up for what the social issues that are close to their hearts. So I think that's where I literally found my voice, and I found what it is that I really stand for. And then from there, I've just been moving between different channels within my career.
Oh, that is amazing. So how old were you when you actually then started your career?
I was 19. Yeah, because I started off at Alex FM, end of matric, I was 19. Yeah, the next year, I was 19.
And what gives you this push that actually inspires you to keep pushing and just not give up? Because we know, especially in the media industry, once it's very hard to go in, and even when you're in, you still have to push. So what actually gives you that push to keep going?
I'm really doing what I love. I'm really, really doing what I love. I think just waking up, I don't need to wake up, and I mean, there are those days where I'm just like, I just want to sleep. But once I'm up and I'm so grateful. I remember there was a time I even posted, I went through my Instagram, and there was a time I posted a picture of me at work, and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I get to wake up and do what I love every single day. And I think about it today, and I still feel the same way. So from there, it's just, you just want to be great at what you do, and that's what I want to do. I want to be great at what I do.
Amazing. Did you ever then maybe feel pressurized to actually do something else? You know how before you go into media, they're like, do something serious that you could fall back on. Did you ever experienced such pressures maybe?
I mean, my mom always wanted me to do engineering because she was working at an engineering company, but maths just wasn't my thing. And I had to give her the benefit of the doubt that just let me do this thing and I'm going to make it work. I think even now I'm still convincing her that it will work out. It will work out. Just trust me, give me time, it will work out. But I have such a great support system.
That's amazing.
I'm so grateful. I have such a great, amazing support system at home. The friends that I have, the people that I work with as well, and just people in the industry who look out for me. I think that's vital. The circles you keep really are important.
That's true. And talking about people in this space, who do you look up to and inspire to be?
I mean, I don't inspire to be like her. I mean, we were actually talking about it yesterday, and it has to be my mentor, Motshidisi Mohono. And what she had said, because she's the one who got me into sports, and when I met her, I think it was a week ago, I said to her, I am so grateful that you put me into this industry that you're already in, but what you didn't do to me was you didn't want me to be like you. And she was like, that would have defeated the whole purpose. So I really, really look up to Motshidisi Mohono. I look up to her excellence, her work ethic, and just her as a person outside of work. I think she's incredible, so it has to be Motshidisi Mohono.
That is amazing. Like you said, real recognizes real. I really, really love that. And I think it's quite important, to find yourself within it, even though you have a mentor. But like you said, you're not inspiring to be like her, but take whatever teaching that she gives you to become the best version of yourself. And I think it's quite a good thing to actually see.
Yeah, I think, and I want other girls, and I want just not even young girls or other people. It's vital to get a mentor, but it doesn't mean that you need to be like them. There is already a Rory. As much as I may love you, I can never be a Rory.
True.
It defeats the purpose. So I need to I can get elements from Rory that can enhance Itu, So I think staying real to yourself and knowing who you are is vital. It's hard to find out who you really are.
Yeah.
It's confusing. In the beginning, I mean, I used to say I want to be like Bonang, and and it just didn't work out because there is already a Bonang.
True.
So yeah.
That is really, really amazing. Now we're gonna just hold it right there, just to go on into now the third story as well. Now, as we know, it's tourism month, and now the economy is opening up. We're in level 2 now, and we know the tourism industry has been hit hard. But now Sun City has now finally opened on the 2nd of September, and now the staff and management actually took it then to their social medias and created their own steps to the world famous Jerusalem, that's all, Now there's a second challenge going on, and they also created a very nice dance to that. And now it's good news for the staff and the royal visitors of the home to the Valley of the Waves, Sun City, which is a much loved tourist attraction in the northwest, which opened on the 2nd of September. Now the hotels now that are opened is the Palace of the Lost City and Soho being open, and Sun City has been awarded now the World Travel and Tourism Council's safe stamp of approval, verifying that the COVID-19 health and safety protocols are in place, have been made, and even exceeded international benchmarks. Now, visitors will still, though, be required to practice social distancing and wear masks, with capacity inside restaurants and swimming pools limited to a maximum of 50 people, and only which also includes staff. And speaking about the reopening, the Sun City General Manager, Brett, said that nobody is more excited about Sun City's reopening than the management and staff, and they are fully intending to celebrate the occasion with great offers for the visitors. Now let's just have a beautiful look at Sun City. City is such a beautiful place though. Talking about travels, where have you traveled to?
I really haven't traveled much. Hey? I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to San Francisco.
Okay.
I've been to Cape Town and I've been to Durban. I haven't really traveled much, but I think the trips that I have taken were worth being taken.
Amazing. Just tell me a little bit, about your international travels. How was it, and what actually led you to actually go to those places?
So when I went to San Francisco, that was my first international travel. So as I said that I was part of a group of young activists at Alex FM. They're called Bigger Than Life. So they asked me to shoot a video with them, and the focal point of the video was about gun violence. And I was basically the main subject within the video, and I was telling someone else's story while helping another kid tell her story. So that video was taken, it ended up on YouTube, and the International Voices of Youth, the International Congress of Youth Voices, that's who they are. They saw it and they invited me to be part of their congress that they had in San Francisco. So I was there representing South Africa, and obviously what I stood up for was for gun violence. So that was my first trip. Beautiful, San Francisco is beautiful. And then my second one was in Puerto Rico last year, doing the same thing, representing South Africa. Puerto Rico is a beautiful island. And I think also just understanding the culture of that side. The weather was amazing. I mean, it's hot. It's very humid, actually. And yeah, it was great. It was an amazing experience.
And do you ever find that most of the time we just want to actually go international and don't actually explore our own country and our continent?
I do find that a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's such a big thing that we promote tourism for us to travel out of the country or just go to other continents or whatever it is. I really think that we should bring it back home. I'd love to get to Nigeria. I'd love to go to Algeria, Egypt, and just know what other African people live like. Because I think the media doesn't show us the reality of these places.
Yeah.
And it's a lot with South Africa when we see how other movies or whatever it is that we see we aren't portrayed the way in which we really are. So I want to experience it firsthand, and I think I want to know my African continent.
And I think it's quite sad that they make like the international space as if it's more beautiful and more worth seeing. And like you said, I think we're not being marketed properly. When we think of Africa, we think of poverty and all those things. We never see the beautiful part of it. And I really think maybe now, once you start traveling to Africa, just show the beautiful parts that are here. And I think we just need to take it upon ourselves when we are out to actually show our beautiful continent ourselves.
And I think also just traveling opens up one's mindset, and we wouldn't have the issues that we have of xenophobia, what's it, tribalism, and all of that. I think it opens up one's mindset because then you understand how other people live, you understand their cultures, and it's not, we don't really get culture shocks as much, because now I really feel that we are a lost generation.
No, we are. We are. And talking about being a lost generation, it's Heritage Month right now, right? Do you really think that there's hope for us as the youngsters? Because I don't even think we know where we come from. And as we can see, our languages are depleting, our vernacular languages are depleting day by day.
And I want to say there's hope, but it needs to start with us. We need to be interested in knowing where we come from. This modernization is killing us. Our cultures are being taken away from us. And we are being boxed into the stereotypes that people want us to be. I'll say, for instance, as Black people, we believe in we're actually talking about it the other day, that why is it that we don't get sick notes from our traditional healers? But when you're sick at work, they want a sick note, but we know that sometimes you don't even go to the doctor. You probably won't go Gobela Mang Mang,
Yes.
you know? But you can't come back and say, no guys, I don't have a sick note because I went go Gobela. Now you need to, it's because we are boxed, our culture is boxed to be something
Sure.
that's a taboo in society or something that's just like, stay away from that, it's not right. And I think that needs to change. We need
Yeah.
to take ownership of our identity and who we really are as people.
Do you think, is there a point maybe in your life personally where you actually felt the pressure to try and fit in and actually be more westernized and move away from your own roots and culture?
I mean, at school, obviously, we were told that we were, so I had a group of black girls, and we literally were a group of black girls.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't compromise, we would speak our language, you know,
Yes.
but we always got into trouble for that. We were told that we're not being lady enough, we're not representing the school well enough. And I think when I think of it now, that's when I was forced to fit in and shift away from who I really am. I mean, growing up in school, if you go to a school that has most people who are white, you then feel, you don't even feel comfortable speaking in vernac to your mom, like at parents' evening. It's just like, I should probably be speaking English.
Yeah.
That time, nothing. One way.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think I have a few times, but the older that I get, I think the more in which I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of who I am and where I come from.
I think that's where we can say we're becoming a more woke generation. We actually
It's
trying
taking time
to,
though.
Yeah,
It's taking time.
unfortunately. I think we still feel the pressure of being more Western and to actually fit in, right? Now, just moving from that, now I just want us to get into your award. Now you won an award. Let's just talk about, you know, celebrating it. Tell us more about that.
So I won the Momentum G Sport for Girls Women in Radio Award last week Monday. And literally, I always say that when you have people guiding you, they prepare you for everything, but what they don't prepare you for is the feeling of winning and the feeling of being overwhelmed. I can't even explain how I felt. I couldn't tell anyone. It was a lot, but I was truly grateful.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that has happened in my career thus far, considering the fact that I've only been doing sports for 2 years.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that I've arrived. I think it's just confirmation that my
That you're
journey
in
has
the right
started.
path. Amazing, amazing. Unfortunately, time is over. I really think we need more time to share such good and positive stories. Unfortunately, like you say, we're in a world that's so negative, and yeah, but all the best with all your future endeavors, and thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's all we had right here on Good News. I really hope you feel inspired and inspired. If you've got any stories to also share with us, go on our comment section. It is at Galaxy Universal Network and also at Gun_TV. And I'm not going to just leave you like that. You know, it's never too late to have a little bit of fun. Here's some couples bringing it down there, and I really hope you enjoy. And as we come back, then we have Zulu news for you. From myself, Rorosangwana Hatswani. Goodbye.
Choma! Battery Papo! 5, 4, 3. Take it.